All right, and here on our news from Times Tabloid, it says Jake Claver says why you should never sell your XRP. Imagine holding a golden goose that hasn't laid an egg in years. Most people would get tired of feeding it and eventually sell it off. But what if I told you the goose wasn't broken? You just didn't have the right nest. Right now, millions of XRP holders are staring at their wallets, debating whether to take a small profit or wait another 5 years. But according to Jake Claver and the team of Digital Ascension Group, we are entering an era where selling your XRP might actually be the biggest financial mistake you ever make. We are moving away from the old buy and hope strategy and entering the world of working assets. So in this video, we are diving into a massive update shared by Jake Claver on X, featuring insights from Mason vs. Lewis. They are talking about a shift to fundamental that it could allow you to keep your XRP forever while still paying your bills. No, this isn't a fantasy. It's the rise of XRPFi. So let's break down exactly why the golden goose is about to start producing and why your exit strategy might need a total rewrite. But before we continue, let's check XRP's current price right now, which is now playing at 1.18 USDT. And based on our daily chart time frame right here, XRP is still consolidating between our major resistance right here at 1.2234 and 1.0897 minor support. And based on my own analysis, I think XRP's move in the following in this coming few days will still continue to consolidate between this resistance and minor support right here. But if we are going to check Bitcoin's chart, we can see that it is now playing right here on our major resistance at 65,594.54. If we can see a breakout from this resistance, I think it will going to pull XRP upwards, right? And if that happens, I think if a breakout occurs right here, I think there is a huge possibility that Bitcoin might rally towards 71,629.99 right here, which is our next resistance, provided that we have enough bullish momentum to push the price up right here. Now, if that happens, then right, let's go back to XRP's chart. If that happens, then I think XRP will also experience the same rally or price surge toward 1.3211, right? So right now we need to watch more on Bitcoin's chart rather than on XRP. So let's go back to our news and let's talk about the XRPFi and the end of the sell profit era. All right. For the longest time, the only way to make money in crypto was to wait for the price to go up, then sell. If you didn't sell, you didn't have cash. But Jake Claver recently highlighted a movement that is turning this concept on its head. It's called XRPFi. All right? XRPFi is a decentralized finance built directly on the XRP Ledger. As a market observer, I see this as the great financial equalizer. For decades, if you want to earn a yield on your assets or provide liquidity to a market, you had to be an institutional player or have millions in the bank. XRPFi is basically taking the high-level tools of the 1% and handing them to the person holding 500 XRP. So my view is that once people realize they can earn fees and yield without letting go of their tokens, the sell button is going to start collecting dust. We are moving from being speculators to being digital bankers. Right? So why does the XRP Ledger win the DeFi race? We've seen DeFi on Ethereum, but let's be honest. Paying $50 in gas fees to move $10 of profit is a nightmare. This is where the structural advantage of the XRP Ledger comes in. Claver and analyst Mason vs. Lewis point out that XRP Ledger is built for speed and, more importantly, extremely low cost. Right? In my opinion, I look at the XRP Ledger like a high-speed fiber optic network compared to the old dial-up other chains. In my observation of the market, speed isn't just a luxury. It's a requirement for mass adoption. If a long-term holder can compound their position every day for pennies in fees, the math starts to favor the holder over the trader. I believe the efficiency of the XRPL will be the magnet that pulls liquidity away from more expensive ecosystems. It's not just a concept anymore. It's a practical, functional machine. So, are the products of the rich finally in your hands? Mason vs. Lewis made a bold statement that Claver's firm shared. Selling XRP might be the dumbest thing you ever do, because the tools that once belonged only to the wealthy are being given to the people through crypto. We are talking about taking, providing liquidity, and collecting transaction fees. So, in my opinion, think about how a traditional bank works. They take your money, they lend it out, and they keep the profit. XRPFi allows you to be the bank. You keep full control of your assets, no central intermediary, no brokers, and no gatekeepers. So, what I can say is that we are witnessing the democratization of capital. When you can generate income from your investment without giving up ownership, you achieve a level of financial freedom that most people can't even dream of. Right? Now, is being early to XRPFi a risk worth taking? The analyst Mason vs. Lewis admitted that XRPFi is still in its early stages. The infrastructure is being built as we speak, and we don't yet have the massive range of products seen on older ecosystem. So, in my opinion, early is where the life-changing wealth is often found, but it's also where the most courage is required. While the ecosystem matures, the rewards for those who provide liquidity first are usually the highest. I think the risk of being early is far outweighed by the risk of being too late once the institutional floodgates open. If you understand where the ship is sailing before it leaves the harbor, you get the best seat on the deck. Right? Now, how can you truly live off your investments? The ultimate goal for most of us is to reach a point where we never have to work again. Vs. Lewis pointed out that XRPFi could literally allow you to live off your investment while keeping your original bag intact. Right? So, to live off your XRP investment and never have to sell it. In my opinion, this is the holy grail of investing. I've observed many people sell their XRP at a small profit only to watch it fly higher later. With XRPFi, the regret disappears. If your asset is generating enough yield to cover your monthly expenses, the market price becomes secondary. You aren't worried about the daily candle, you are focused on the daily yield. So my take is that this shifts the psychology of the entire community from when moon to when yield, which is a much healthier and more sustainable way to build wealth. So overall, the message from Jake Claver and the Digital Ascension Group is very clear right here. Your XRP is more than just a digital coin. It is a piece of infrastructure. As XRPFi continues to develop on the XRP Ledger, the utility of this asset is going to skyrocket. We are moving away from the era of central intermediaries and toward a future where the holder is the one in control. So my overall conclusion as a market observer is that the never sell movement isn't just a catchy slogan. It's a calculated financial strategy based on the birth of a new financial system. By using the XRP Ledger's speed and low cost, you can turn your static holdings into a working asset that earns for you 24/7. So pay close attention to the liquidity pools and staking options as they launch. The goal isn't just to see XRP hit a high price. It's to own an asset that you never have to sell to be wealthy. Alright? And this finally ends our video. Thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one, or you might just as well watch this next recommended video right here.